Hello, it's Jenny. I'm back with a flip through today of a journal for a custom order for Michelle for a woodland themed baby book. Now this is a mixture of a she wanted to document her pregnancy / prayer journal / also use when the baby's here for him. So this is the largest journal that I've posted so far. I am making 2 other custom large journals right now of different types. But for those of you who keep messaging me, asking me sizes, prices, things like this, this would be my largest, so far. This has a 3-inch spine. It has 3 signatures, 3 different sections, which, some journals can still have 3 signatures but not be this big, but this has a lot in it. It is 6 inches by 9.5 inches, and it is hard cover, fabric covered book cover. And then it has the metal book corners. I put a metal book plate here, and then she can put in baby's name or whatever she wants to right there. I did put a tassel that is detachable on this side. You just take it off from this little book ring, and I made it with some Indian sari and some I believe it's banana dyed yarn it was called. I got both of those from Victorian Gypsy Girl, and this as well. I forget what this is called, but this was some type of specialty ribbon from somewhere. It's really pretty. Just different types that kind of match the journal. I have some buttons tied in there, really pretty bead, glass bead there. A little fox. He keeps wanting to turn upside down though. And then a blue button, a little owl, a large red wooden bead, a little jingle bell, little star, Christmas tree ornament. Baby's due in August, so here's a little metal owl. And there's some more buttons in there. I always tangle these things up looking for things. But anyways, this comes off, or you can just leave it on and flip it up. This book does have about approximately like 267 plus pages, give or take. I think more than that, actually, areas and spaces to put photos and write in. This is a very large journal. So let's just get in. Before I do flip through, I do want to say I went back to the basics on this journal. I will link below. I know you know who she is, but Jessica at I'm a Cool Mom, when I started really getting into journals and making them a couple years ago, just, as gifts and things, I learned everything like this type of journal from her. And I even went back to the basics of the video that I, had of that, and sat and watched it, the other day, and just some of the certain things I did in some of the pages, and just went back and did all of that again, because sometimes you just forget, I also made a lot of little clusters, like Lynette on Cheaply Chic's been making a lot lately. She and I both have been putting some in our Traveler's Notebook journals this month, but she's been making them like crazy and in a different way than I'm used to making them. So I have been making some of those, and she has tutorials on those as well, a couple of those up on her channel. I think she put one up today. So I will leave a link to that video as well. So let's just get right in. Look, this was not bent a while ago. Okay, so opening it up, it has wallpaper backing right here to reinforce it, and then more fabric layered with a little bit of cheesecloth to reinforce the spine. I put a Bambi book page here and just made a pocket out of it, and just put a little washi sample on a little trivia card. And then this, I sewed in the back, and it's just a CD case I thought she might want to put in if, I don't know, my children are all older, but if they still give you a CD of your sonogram or whatever, you could put a photo or the CD in here. Here's a fabric cluster that's sewn, and this is just some cardstock right here. I put a lot of these little prayer type little things just to give her little prompts. I did some stamping here and there. I put some Edith Holden pages in with some of the months leading up, like this is July. This is pretty much her section that I made. This is just a sticker that says your word is a lamp unto my feet. She could put photos on this or paint over it and then journal. She wanted some vintage things in, so this was like a headboard. She liked ivy, and this just had ivy and some florals over a headboard I thought was pretty. I sewed a lot of ruffles with fabric to match the cover, and then glued them to the page. And I just stamped little words here and there sometimes, like this says soon. I know y'all can read, but just in case you can't see from there. Here's just a little floral sticker, and this I stamped my everything. Here's another little prayer, rejoice evermore. Here's one side of a little bag. It's just got some little milk replica tabs. I can't think what they're called. And a little journaling card. Here's a book about wild roses. Stamped some butterflies. That says time flies in the middle, but you can't really tell. Here's a cluster I did with some seam binding and a die cut and some ink sprayed lace. She said she loved music, so I put some music pages. Here's another little cluster that I stitched, and this was out of a just some type of old Victorian book I had gotten at a thrift shop last year, and it talks about pregnancy and stuff. And this is out of an herbal book. I did some stenciling, and I tore most of the edges of the pages. This is 2 sheets of some vintage ledger I had, and I just taped them in with masking tape to reinforce those. This is one of the things that I went back to the basics and did. It's just a envelope to hold your tags, but it'll fold over on this other side. This is out of a 1960s magazine, and I just backed it with another one. They were both real fragile, and it was just both about baby and mom. Some more stamping. The center of the signature is this little baby with this little kitten. It looks like he's eating corn. And I put just some little buttons tied on there. Just some washi tape. Here's the side of that Gerber ad. And here's the other side of that. And then I made a lot of tags. Here's the other side of that little pocket. I just put some seam binding on the edge of it. Here's the other side of the ledger that I reinforced. Some butterfly stamping. I just folded this music sheet over and made a little tag. I've got glue on my hands. This is some music from 1953. For those of you who are waiting on your journals, your custom orders, just know that I'm working on them every day, all day, during the night if I get up, that they are definitely being worked on. And if I've got yours finished and posted photos, you know, on Instagram or something, I will be mailing those out. If I have not already, I probably have, but if I haven't, they'll be mailed out in the next day or two. If they haven't been, it's just because I'm making your ephemera and stuff, your add-on packets to go in them. Here's the other side of that little bag with some little journaling cards. I stitched in some little prayers from little golden books here and there. Here's a little prayer card that says, "I'm fearfully and wonderfully made." And then she said she liked to can and bake, so I made a little section for that. So I stitched this little notepad sheet there. Here's a little vintage recipe card. I got this idea from Lynette right there. I mean, I know I've been doing mine like that, but I haven't been stitching them. And then there's just some fun stuff in here. Here's just a little stitched notebook I made, which is some fun things with fabric at the top, and I just paper clip that in. Here's a little fabric flip of lace. Here's a pocket. With just some fun little vintage looking things and an old quilt replica. She likes sunflowers. This is just some you know, like for texture, some baking type paper, but she could tear this out and use it to back up some of the photos. This is out of a vintage baking recipe book on biscuits and waffles. Here's out of an old the baking book, or no, magazine, that magazine, strawberry preserves, and I just put some tags and cards all in this pocket. And someone asked me one day, I saw in a video, and I don't think I've answered them yet, why I staple sometimes instead of always stitching, but it's just to give it texture, and it's a little bitty stapler that I use. It's called a Tiny Attacher by Tim Holtz, and I just like the extra dimension, I guess you'd say, it gives. So here's another cluster, and I just used it also as a tuck spot right there. Here's a vintage Betty Crocker recipe for grasshopper and butterscotch parfaits. That was from Lynette, thank you. And then here's just a clear pocket from a Project Life book, so she can put photos or whatever in there. There's a poem about a boy in nature. There's some gardening. She said she likes to garden. There's another cluster on here with a a vintage milk ad out of that out of that some butterscotch, a Nestle ad out of 1960. It says, out of a Woman's Day magazine, and I stitched that little thing onto it. I can't find my words, y'all. Here's just a vintage dictionary page I stitched right here, and just put a little card back there. Then here's some more of that dictionary page. Here's a fabric flip to the side with a little butterfly underneath. Then I made a pocket. This is the center of this signature, and I just glued this at the side and just punched it right there so you'll know this is a pocket. And it's just got some cutoffs from the paper pad that I used down in there. Here's out of a little old book of Mama tucking the baby in, and something about Daddy on the back. Some more recipes. Here's some pedophore recipes. There's another little poem, The Realm of the Barefoot Boy. Here's the other side of that photo album, which you can cut right here and put photos in. The Way, the Truth, the Life, John 14:16. She can journal under there, and I made a pocket right here that goes to the side. Some lemon paper, and then I just made a little out of cardstock, just a little envelope right here. There's not anything in here yet. There's a flower. Here's another little journaling card. In case I forget. And then this was another one of the ideas. I went back to the basics from Jessica at I'm Cool Mom, and you just put the paper over the cardstock and make you little doors to open up and hide your journaling or photos or whatever. I love all these lemons and sunflowers. Makes me want to go decorate like I should have done like a month ago. I still have Easter stuff up. I've been making journals. Home. Other side, that little quilt. These were some little cut aparts that I just thought were cute that come with the paper pad. And then the rest of them are in here. With a butterfly and some others. And that's stitched on. There's a guest check, and then a little Eloise Wilkins little golden book, Little Miss Muffet, and Little Jack Horner. Thought that was appropriate in her baking and cooking section. And then here's baby's section. Starting with August, here's some Edith Holden, and you can flip it up and put photos underneath. There's a tag. Some stamping. A bunch of stuff down in there. This is out of an Ideals catalog. I just put a pocket, tore a pocket and put it on there, and just stitched that little booklet together. A vintage children's dictionary. This is just a basic idea going back to the start. September. Another little cluster. Some of these Robert Louis Stevenson poems. I just put some Edith Holden pages on that little tag. And this is October. I just put red and blue buttons right here. And this was another one of Jessica's basic ideas right here. And so we've got some leftover paper put in the back, and then you've got I made this tag, and then you've got a front tuck right here, so it's just a double. Some stenciling. And here's another basic, back to the basics. This has a clear pocket on the front with some tags, but you can put a photo in there, and then a photo here, a photo here, a photo here, and then a picture there or journal there. And this is another one of Jessica's ideas. This folds out. There's another cluster behind there. It says brave with a little butterfly. And so she can put photos here, 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 and here. Here's another one of the little golden prayer books. And then here's the other side of that, one of those pages. There's a little cluster with some Edith Holden book pages with November. Here's my fabric flip for this one with some little owl fabric and the yellow orangish gingham with a little lavender and orange flowers. I tried to make it for mom and baby. It was kind of, being a little boy, I was trying to make sure. There's little boy vintage toys. I left this part empty, this bag. I didn't know if she wanted to use it as paper or cut it open and use it as to hold memories. Here's another one of Jessica's ideas. One of Lynette's clusters with some dyed cheesecloth. She also shows how to do that. But here's Jessica's waterfall. So photos can go here, 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 and then under there, and under there. And this was another one of Jessica's ideas where you put a double tuck, and it can also be a full tuck underneath, but I've glued 2 pages, so you've got to find the right place to stick that. And then wallpaper on the back, and I just put some of these leather looking flowers on the back. And you know what? I have not thought about the closure on this yet. I'll probably just wrap around a big, thick, pretty piece of fabric to tie it with. So thank you, Michelle. I hope you love this, and I hope y'all have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.